guys. All right, so recently we put together some $5 puzzles from Dollar General, and I must say, I was really impressed by them. And at the end of that adventure, I was like, you know what? I seriously need to try out those puzzles that I picked up from 5Below. And I'm super glad that I picked up a number of them because this time I got an extra count here that we could test out. So you know what? Let's just get on with the puzzles, right? Let's see what we're going to be working on today. So the first puzzle that we are going to work on is a 300-piece puzzle. It's called the Zodiac Signs as Charcuterie. It is a Seiko puzzle, and it's 15 inches by 11 inches when it's completed. And I really love this image because you guys know how I am about food. I mean, I absolutely love charcuterie boards. I love salamis, hams, cheese, you know, all that good stuff. So I couldn't help myself when I saw this image. I was also very hungry at the time when I was purchasing these puzzles, so you're gonna see kind of a trend here with the next ones. But anyways, I'm super looking forward to checking this one out and seeing what this, piece quality is like and all that good stuff. The next puzzle that we are going to be working on is one of the 500 count puzzles. And this one's called Sushi Roll. It's a panorama puzzle, and it's 34 inches by 17 inches when it's completed. And the brand for this one looks to be RMS International Graphics. I don't know, I think I had this issue last time. But anyways, I absolutely love the packaging on this one. For $5, this would make like a really nice gift and whatnot in terms, of like presentation and all that. But we'll see what the quality of the pieces is like, right? I mean, that's kind of the most important thing. But anyways, again, we got more food here. I know half the sushi out there I'm allergic to, but that's okay because we also got dumplings here, which is like one of my favorite foods. We also got avocado roll, tuna roll, rice with egg. I love me a good fried rice. But anyways, I'm super excited to put this one together. This one looks like it's going to be super fun. And then the last one that I picked up from 5Below is one of their 1,000 count puzzles. And this one is called Spice It Up. Again, 1,000 pieces, and it's 27 inches by 21.5 inches when it's completed. And this one looks to also be from RMS International Graphics. I don't know. All I know is I was super excited when I saw this image. I love hot sauces. I don't go too spicy in general because it gives me terrible indigestion. But I don't mind a little spice here and there. And I absolutely love salsa. There's nothing better than chips and salsa to me. But anyways, we're not here to talk about food. What I want to know with these 3 different puzzles from 5Below, I mean, in terms of price, I'm sure you guessed, these were all $5. And, each of these do say they are made in China. We don't know what we're going to get with this, considering the price and all that. But I'm really trying to be optimistic here because I wasn't sure what to expect with those Disney Dollar General puzzles that were also $5. And again, I was pleasantly surprised by it. So you know what? I'm kind of hoping for the same experience, adventure. You know what I'm kind of, you know what I'm trying to say here? Same quality. I don't know. We'll see, right? But we're never going to find out until I, get a move on because we got a lot of work here. So you know what? I'm just going to stop. Let's get these open and let's see what we're going to be dealing with here. All right, so let's get a move on here. We got a lot of puzzling to do, so let's start with the 300 count puzzle, right? That makes sense. Let's go down by count size. All right, so this is a pretty thin box, the Seiko box. It's a flip top, very much, well, not very much. It is exactly like the ones we picked up from Dollar General, those Disney ones. So let's get this tape off and let's get this opened and see what these pieces are like. All right, I must say the packaging so far is identical to those Disney $5 puzzles. So I'm pretty hopeful for this. This will be nice because the ones that I tried from Dollar General were 500 and the 1,000. This is a 300 count. So let's see what these are like. And like the ones I picked up at Dollar General, there's really no puzzle dust in here at all, if any. But again, so far, I'm seeing good things with this. Look at this print here. This is a very clear, sharp print. And the colors, I mean, from what I'm seeing of the pieces that are facing the correct way, we got vibrant colors. It's very true to the box image. We do have that glossy finish as well with these, so just keep note of that. In terms of piece thickness, we have 1.6 millimeters, if you can see that, or 0.06 inches. And a very nice piece size as well. We got 1 inch or 25.5 millimeters there. And you know, in terms of the strength with these, you know, usually the bigger the piece size, the weaker they feel in general. I don't know, that's just my personal observation with doing all these different puzzle counts from different brands. But, you know, it's not like you want to be a beast with these anyways. You know, the tabs aren't too bad if you know, put a little bit of force into it, but you know, you don't want to go too crazy with that. But anyways, you know what? Let's move on to the 500 count puzzles. I'm going to move these to the side because I want to work on this particular puzzle first. So, no, I just got to be careful that we don't mix them up. But anyways, let's get this one opened up. Oh. Oh my goodness. Just look at that piece size. I was not expecting something that big. What I am seeing here is a bit of puzzle dust here. You know, more puzzle dust compared to the Seiko 300 that we just opened. But you know what? This is exciting. Let me open this up. I want to see what these pieces feel like. Wow, there's no chance of me mixing these up with the 300 count puzzle. Look how huge these pieces are. And not only that, look at this print as well. This is another very nice clear print. There's not much going on in the image anyways, but I mean, look at these outlines. It's all very clear. The colors are great. They're very true to the packaging image. Oh, and I just realized there's something in this container as well. Something that the Seiko puzzle that we just opened up didn't have. Look at here. It comes with a mini reference image. Smaller than the size of, well, you know, this way it's a little bigger than the size of my hand, but you know, that's your reference image there. Okay, I guess it's better than nothing, right? But anyways, let's go back to the pieces here. Now, considering how big these pieces are, I know I just mentioned this with the other puzzle, but I mean, they actually feel pretty sturdy. I'm trying to like put a little bit more force on the tabs and whatnot, even this thin one here, and it's really holding up very, very well. In regards to the thickness, we have 1.9 millimeters or 0.07 inches, but this also has a glossy coating to that, so just be aware. Other than that, look at that piece size. This is crazy. This definitely has a great variety of piece shapes. I mean, we got some craziness going on here. I don't know. This looks like this is going to be super interesting. But, you know, let me stop taking them out because then I'm going to start mixing things up and I don't need to give myself extra work here. So let's put this away and open the other puzzle. All right, I'm starting to run out of space on my table, so let's see how I'm going to do this. Let's get this opened up. All right, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but this does have quite a bit of puzzle dust as well. And look what else it comes with. It comes with that looks like an even smaller reference image. It doesn't even look like the full image is cut out on the sides. I don't know if that's how the puzzle is going to look, but, you know, we shall see, right? I'll put that in there. Save it for later. Let's move this box out of the way so that we can open this up very carefully without mixing them up with the other puzzles and see what these pieces are like. I don't know why, but in this bag, it looks like there's way more than 1,000 pieces in here. But anyways, let's take a quick peek-see at these here. Okay, the more pieces that I pull out, the more I feel like this puzzle image is going to be quite a challenge to piece together because we don't really have too much going on these pieces. But anyways, aside from that, we'll get to the challenge of it later. These do also have a glossy finish to them. And in terms of piece size, it does look like your basic, you know, size for a 1,000 count puzzle. Actually, they're probably a little bit bigger than your standard. But in terms of the print, I mean, the colors are very sharp. They're bright. The print looks very clear there. You can see the lettering here very clearly. At least I hope you can see it clearly. I'm just trying to see if my camera's focusing. Oh, look at that gloss. But anyways, we said that already. In terms of the thickness, let's see what that's like. All right, these are looking to be 0.07 inches or 1.8 millimeters. And in terms of the size of the puzzle pieces, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'm not an expert at this kind of stuff. But we got 27.5 millimeters for this particular piece, or 1.08 inches. Now, in regards to the strength of these, I mean, it feels pretty good. A lot of these tabs are very thin from what I'm seeing here. And, you know, the thinner they are, the more they're gonna, you know, show some give to it. So you kind of have to be gentle with these, you know, very thin tab pieces here. But other than that, the other ones seem pretty good in case, you know, throw some beastly force into there. So far, I'm feeling like this is pretty good stuff for $5. Now, for me, as we all, well, not all of you know, some of you know, I'm all about the fit and the hold when it comes to puzzling. So I'm super curious what that's going to be like with each of these puzzles. But we'll see, right? I don't remember working on this particular brand before. So I don't know. Hopefully it's all good in the end. So you know what, guys? Let's finally find out what all of these $5 puzzles are like and if they're worth your time. All right, let's finally move on. Alright, so let's start with the 300 count. Now, I realized after I started sorting and piecing it together that I totally forgot to film a clip showing how I set up the sorting trays, but that's okay. It was a super quick and simple sort. I did have my edge tray, one that had that bluey tablecloth in the background, foods, whitish pieces, which would have been the bread and the cheese, lettering, and pinks. There weren't many pieces in each tray, so I didn't get that initial surge of intimidation I typically get, if that makes any sense. And it wasn't too long after I finished the edges that I started to get a good sense of what I was dealing with here. And yes, the print is good, even with that glossy finish, but I did notice that the fit was on the loose side. Although I was able to pick up a couple of pieces or three and move them about, overall, it wasn't a really good hold, almost a bit on the crumbly side at times. And it did pass the pickup test, minus a few pieces, but it fumbled my storage test. Not surprising on that last one though, and I know not necessary either with a puzzle count this small. But this image was too much fun to piece together, and I just couldn't stop working on it. It only took me about an hour to complete, and I was glad about that because that meant I could move right on to the next one, and that I did. But this time, I did remember to film my sorting clip. Alright, that wasn't too bad. So here's what I did. First tray, of course, we have our edge pieces. This tray, I mean, with these two trays here, I kind of left it with one tray being kind of just the plain blue pieces, and then these were any blue pieces that had like any kind of lettering to them, or if they had like very little detail to them, but mostly, you know, like they were blue. Next tray here, we have pieces with mainly like dark browns in them. Of course, there's blue in there as well, but I kind of separated the rest of the trays according to like different color tones. So again, dark browns. We have here this lighter brown. Then this tray here, we have pieces with like kind of these yellowish, tannish tones. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like the dumplings, these particular sushi pieces here, the fried rice. And then for the last tray here, I did mainly like, as you can see, oranges. And there's some light browns here. I probably could have put these in a separate tray, but that's okay. Just went through this fairly quickly, kept it simple so that I can finally move on with this. So let's do that. So I got the edges done, then went right on to whichever sushi pile looked the easiest to resort first. And it was at that point where I started noticing some issues with these pieces. Although this has a very nice print, my particular puzzle had a number of damaged pieces, which was surprising to me really because during the unboxing, I felt like the strength on these were pretty good.
It looked like the bag of puzzle pieces got a real good shove into that tube during production or something. I swear, it wasn't my beastly force that caused it. Now, a lot of these pieces could be fixed with some glue, but I don't know about some of those tabs. I mean, they were bent pretty good. But that wasn't the only issue I found with this one. That fit and hold was not good. Very loosey-goosey, and maybe 2 pieces would hold, but overall, quite crumbly. Thank goodness I really liked this image.
Alright, so far so good. This is actually really fun in regards to the image, but like not so fun in regards to like the overall hold and whatnot. It's pretty crumbly, so it's kind of giving me a hard time moving sections around. But I'm sure what doesn't really help is the fact that I have a big mess on this table. I got sections everywhere. There's sushi all over the place. They're on top of each other. They're not in the right place. So this is going to be quite challenging to, maneuver about. So I'm probably going to have to get my puzzle scoop up here to try to get these pieces in the right place. But, there's multiple of the same, sushis and whatnot. So, trying to figure out where each of these sections goes, it's a bit challenging. But anyways, let me get my puzzle scoop. Let me start, trying to put these in the right spot and move on from there. All right, let's go.
That puzzle scoop did come to my rescue and did help me get those sushis moved around the table, as best as it could, of course. But anyways, what really saved this puzzle for me was that cool image and the fact that these pieces were so big and had so much in them. It was easy. So easy that I got it done in about 2.5 hours. In one sitting. Is that the fastest I've ever completed a 500 count? I don't know. But after that, I went right on to my pickup test, and that didn't go so well, and neither did the storage test. But anyways, with this second 5Below puzzle under my belt, it was time to take on the 1K, and I just couldn't wait to see what a count this big had to offer at $5. Would it crumble like the last 2? I was hoping for the best.
Alright, even though we have a lot of the same things going on in this image, I didn't let myself go too crazy with the sorting. So I kept it fairly simple, at least I think I did. But anyways, these are the edge pieces. These pieces are mainly white, but they either have kind of like that beigey pattern in the background, basically these little flames here. And also I put any with black on them, which I know are going to be like hot and things like that. Next tray here, I did any pieces that had any blues to them. Now, one thing with all of these here, they're gonna have, for the most part, multiple colors in them, but I kind of kept it like whatever color it has the most of in the piece, it goes into its tray, if that makes any sense. Here we have pieces mainly with yellows. This is mainly with reds, greens, and then these are just plain white pieces here. It's not perfect, and it's never meant to be perfect when you're sorting, so I know there's going to be some resorting involved throughout the process. So you know what? Let's just continue on with this.
After spending an unusually long time just trying to piece the edges together, I started to get a bad taste in my mouth about this one. As I continued to sift through these pieces, I started to remember how many damaged pieces I came across during my sorting and how I initially felt about this one during the unboxing. My mind kept going back and forth. But as I tried to take the negative thoughts out of my head whilst I puzzled on, I kept on coming across something that pretty much all puzzlers absolutely hate. And that's false fits. My goodness, it was abundant in this one, and it seriously put a damper on the whole experience. Surprisingly, a damper I've never experienced during my sacred puzzle time. I did have fun piecing the hot sauces and the plant and stuff, but once it got to the plain white background and the tiny faint flames, my desire to finish started fading away. Because of all the false fits, I must have put a number of pieces in the wrong places, but I couldn't tell and I couldn't recover them. It turned into an absolute mess that I couldn't even see myself coming out of. And as I got closer and closer to the end, what I had left was sorted by shape, but it didn't help. And it just kept getting worse and worse. Nothing would fit. Even if it was the right piece shape, it just made no sense, and the profanities were abundant. And for the first time in my entire puzzling life, I threw in the towel. After over 6 hours, I realized that I didn't care enough about this image to want to continue dealing with this mess. And I've always been too stubborn to not finish a puzzle, especially when I'm this close to the end. But I knew this day would come eventually. And you know what? That's okay. With so much going on in my life right now, I can't let my puzzle time be stressful. Besides, hot sauce gives me indigestion now anyways.
Alright, well, that was a lot to get done. And now that that's finally done, let's do a quick recap and start with the positives. And all 3 puzzles had this in common with them, and that was the print. And even with that glossy finish, I feel like it was a positive because overall, the colors were very vibrant. It was a clear print. It was sharp. Another thing that I really liked as well was the overall piece size, especially that 500 count puzzle. That was a surprise. Those pieces were huge. And on top of that, there was a great variety of piece shapes. But the common downfall with all 3 of these puzzles was that fit and hold. I mean, I was able to get 2 to 3 pieces to hold at a time, but mostly it was a crumbly experience. It just wasn't my thing. I did not like that. And it really made finishing that last puzzle, the 1000 count, like it felt like a chore. So much of a chore that I couldn't even finish it. Because on top of that, I was dealing with all those false fits and it was terrible. But if I had to recommend one of these puzzles, I would probably say it would be the 500. Because for $5, you do get, in my opinion, fancy packaging. It has a great piece size, the variety of piece shapes, the print on top of that, which is great. Overall for $5, you can't really go wrong. And I absolutely loved this image. This was like so much fun to piece together. But does that necessarily mean I'd buy more of these in the future? Probably not, to be honest. But then again, at $5, you can't expect great, amazing perfection. But anyways, I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Have any of you actually tried any of these puzzles from 5Below? And if you had, what was your experience like? Was it better, worse? You don't care? Let me know down below. Now I feel like I have a couple more $5 puzzles that I had picked up from Dollar General ages ago. I think they were the cardinal puzzles, which I've heard from some of you that they're terrible. So, now I definitely have to try them. I gotta see what that's all about. But I don't know if I'll do that for the next one or not, or if I'm gonna do something else. I don't know, we'll see, right? But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're doing great. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.